want to get crazy explosive, right? But you forgot force absorption in phase 1 of your training? Then we got a lot of work to do, so let's jump straight into it. No pun intended. If we want to jump high, run fast, and reduce the risk of injuries, force absorption is like knocking out 2 birds with 1 stone. The first step to better force absorption is improving eccentric strength. You can think of the eccentric contraction as the lowering portion of a movement, where the muscle is lengthening while producing force. Essentially, this is the load before the explode. And here's the thing. We're generally 25 to 50% stronger eccentrically than we are concentrically. AKA, we can lower a lot more weight than we can lift. Now, here's why that matters. With conventional weight training, we're working eccentrically, but we're never actually overloading the eccentric portion. Because if we're using a weight that can be lifted concentrically, then we know we're working submaximally on the eccentric. Basically, the concentric contraction's like, yo, this is tough, but the eccentric's like, bro, do you even lift? So to overload eccentrically, we use various methods such as 1 leg down, 2 legs up. We also use different speeds, focusing on controlling down slow to change the time under tension. Essentially, eccentric strength is going to translate to how much force we can absorb, so it's a prerequisite for training. But what if I told you that's only half the battle? The other half is rate of force absorption, also referred to as eccentric rate of force development. And when it comes to optimizing the stretch shortening cycle, this is a major key. For athletes who have already developed their eccentric strength, eccentric rate of force development can unleash new levels of explosion. So let's just think about it like this. In a 2-foot approach jump, we might have 0.2 seconds to absorb and produce force. And in sprinting, our ground contact time is even smaller, generally less than 0.1 seconds. So if we waste valuable ground contact time with slow absorption phases, we're left with less time to produce force concentrically. And you know what that means. No bounce, no explosion, no speed. But if we learn to absorb force rapidly, we can allocate more of that ground contact time towards force production. And you know what that means. Blow-bys, windmill dunks, you know, the finer things in life. But real quick, let's take a pause for the cause. Because I know a lot of you are thinking, well, that's great information, but I don't have access to all this equipment. Look, you don't need it. I'm fortunate to have advanced equipment in my gym, but remember, I took my vertical to 47 inches when I was sneaking into LA Fitness and training out of apartment gyms. So I don't want to hear the excuse that you don't have the equipment. All you need is hard work, knowledge, and persistence. Alright, time in. Let's finish up. So what I'm doing here is working on plane-specific rate of force absorption, because we have to be able to absorb in all directions, not just vertically. At the end of the day, you have to realize there's levels to this, and if we don't progress through these levels appropriately, we'll never become crazy explosive. And if there's one thing that I hate, it's seeing an athlete fall short of their genetic potential because of a poor training program. Stay tuned for episode 3 of the Crazy Explosive series, Force Production. And for athletes who are truly dedicated to improving their vertical jump and explosiveness, be sure to join my online training program. Phase 1 is focused on building the base and force absorption. Let's create our future right now, and let's make our dreams tomorrow's reality. I'm out.